Hello, welcome to Chat with Us. I'm Yu Chixing from Xinhua, and I'm joined by my colleague Sun Qing. Today we have two guests, Professor Li Feng from Zhaotong University and also Mr. Roya Nola, a foreign banker based in Shanghai. So as you can see that we are working from home because of the past 2 months, the COVID-19 has led to the large-scale lockdown in cities such as Shenzhen, Changchun, and also Shanghai, the financial hub of China. We hope that it will can slow the rate of transmission, but however, we cannot deny that to some extent, the outbreak of COVID-19 and also the lockdown are posing the challenge and hurting the Chinese economy. So today our topic is what's the impact of Omicron on Chinese economy. Let's look at the GDP data of this first quarter of 2021, which reached at 4.8%. It's relatively higher compared with the last quarter of last year. But so what can we sum up from the first data quarter of the GDP?
So to answer your question, I would probably say that this is a very impressive growth. And even though we are facing some challenges, the highlight that I mentioned in the high-tech sector is extremely good. The investment in high-tech industries grew 27%. And if you look at the subsectors within the high-tech industries, the output in the green energy, in the solar battery, in industrial robots, these subsectors had a growth rate of 140%, 24%, and 10% respectively. So these data show that the resilience in China's high-tech industry.
I would like to mention that export and the foreign trade is very good performance for the first quarter, and CPI increased 1.1, and then the government create 2.8 million job for first quarter. And the only thing I want to mention that retail sales is not good enough. I think this is because of the COVID.
Next question is I'd like to know that what do you think of in the short term? What kind of the challenge that the lockdown and the COVID posed to the Chinese economy, and in the long term, do you think the supporting factor of the China's GDP growth will be affected?
The human movement, goods movement, and money movement has been constrained, and this creates an issue on the supply side. And second is, if you look at the demand side, because of the lockdown, a lot of consumers have to be sort of staying home, right? So these weaken the demand side too.
But the good news is the China's economy, take Shanghai for example, has rolled out the several supporting policies to help the enterprises operation amid the epidemic. Like Shanghai now, up to now, there are more than 1,000 companies that have initiated the work resumption. And Sun Qing, I knew you that you've interviewed several of them. So what's your observation?
And I had talked with the Quanta Shanghai manufacturing city, a key producer of Apple's MacBook models and the supplier for Tesla China. The company was resumed production since April 15th. So the resumption of work and production is very important to helping the company achieve the annual business growth target. So I think this case represents the perspectives of many enterprises.
So I think these policies are necessary and would definitely help stabilize the economy.
I am sure for the big scale companies, state-owned companies or foreign investment companies, I think government support is no problem for them. But the point is, small businessmen, the vendor level businessman needs more help. So I think government has paid more attention to the vendor level.
Do you think that after the outbreak of COVID-19, is China still will be attractive for foreign investors and companies?
I talked with the big enterprises like the US car maker Tesla Shanghai factory officially resumed production on April 19th. Vice President of Tesla said that from the process of the current production resumption, they have seen China's ability to cope with challenges, and they believe that normality will soon return.
There might be some shock in the short term, but in the medium and long term, China will still be a very attractive destination for global companies and investors for three reasons. First is that China is extremely important in global supply chain network. Second is that China is a huge market for any serious multinational corporation. Third is that China's financial sort of liberalization has made itself into one of the most important asset allocation destinations.
Opening up, 更加开放, it is very important. The opening up for investment environment and the financial environment.
As we all know, the Chinese government has set its growth target of 5.5%. So how do you expect for policymakers to step up its policy stimulus to achieve the goal?
To achieve this, I think they propose two keywords. One is stabilization. The other keyword is growth. And this time, I think the government is also discussing potential infrastructure spending plans to accelerate big construction projects, right? Especially in the manufacturing, technology, energy, and food sectors. On the consumption side, the government will probably sort of stimulate consumption by issuing more coupons to individuals, right? So the second quarter is crucial. We need to sort of revive the economy